Summary of Ghosts of Honolulu, A Japanese Spy, A Japanese-American Spy Hunter, and the Untold Story of Pearl Harbor written by Mark Harmon. Introduction. In their commitment to portraying the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, NCIS, realistically, the creators of the television series express a deep respect for the real-life agents, analysts, and support staff who dedicate their lives to this covert organization. The cast and crew go to great lengths to ensure procedural accuracy, meticulously detailing uniforms, weapons, and lingo as a form of homage to the genuine professionals working within the NCIS. Looking forward, the creators express their dedication to exploring the historical roots of the organization and shedding light on the forgotten individuals who played pivotal roles in shaping its identity. Their upcoming book, Ghosts of Honolulu, serves as the initial step in this journey, delving into the clandestine history of the city before, during, and after the infamous attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Through the lens of a naval intelligence special agent named Douglas Wada, the narrative unfolds, providing a unique perspective on the events that transpired in the shadows of history. The historical connection between NCIS and World War II is explained by President Franklin Roosevelt's 1939 directive, which ordered the Navy to investigate domestic threats, a directive that planted the seeds for what would eventually become NCIS. The story traces its roots even further back to the establishment of the Office of Naval Intelligence, ONI, in 1882, tasked with collecting information on foreign vessels, charting bodies of water, and touring defense and industrial facilities overseas. Although initially focused on foreign affairs, ONI expanded its scope during World War I, engaging in spy cases and covert operations in New York in 1916. However, these efforts were largely dismantled after the conclusion of the Great War. With the rise of the Japanese Empire and the impending threat of war, the Navy recognized the value of counterespionage operations. In 1939, FDR directed the ONI to handle investigations related to sabotage, espionage, and subversive activities within the Navy, putting criminal investigations back on the menu. In 1940, reservists began to be called up for duty with the Naval Intelligence Service, NIS, a term encompassing agents in naval stations and ships at sea, the entire ONI, and a division within the Office of the Chief of Naval Operations. The NIS agents proved their worth, investigating an impressive 97,000 cases in 1943 alone. As the book unfolds, it becomes clear that NCIS emerged from the NIS, and the experiences of World War II naval counterintelligence agents form the very foundations of the modern NCIS. The book particularly emphasizes the unique perspective of Douglas Wada, the son of a Honolulu Shinto shrine builder and the only Asian American who worked inside the ONI in Hawaii or anywhere else during the war. While the television franchise may focus on death investigations, the book underscores that the agency is about much more, including counterintelligence and counterespionage. The creators reveal that NCIS's involvement in domestic counterespionage can be encapsulated in two words: Pearl Harbor. However, they stress that the true story, told in the shadows, is more complex than commonly perceived. In concluding their message, the creators express a hope that this book serves as both an entertaining morale boost and a reminder for current NCIS agents facing unique challenges. They acknowledge the significance of the quiet, often unseen work performed by these agents, assuring them that their contributions are not forgotten and carry lasting importance. Prologue. In the serene backdrop of Diamond Head Beach on a Sunday morning, Douglas Wada, a 31-year-old Japanese-American naval intelligence agent, embarks on his routine fishing trip with friends. As they prepare to cast their lines into the surf, a dark plume of smoke captures their attention. Speculations arise about its origin, perhaps a military training exercise or a plane crash near Bellows Field. However, the growing thickness of the smoke raises concern. Their musings are abruptly halted by the urgent arrival of the Diamond Head lighthouse keeper, racing down the bluffs with news that shatters the tranquility of the morning. "Don't you people know we're at war?" he exclaims in disbelief, addressing the three Japanese men near the lighthouse. Wada, quick to respond, reveals his U.S. Navy identification, indicating his affiliation with the Office of Naval Intelligence in downtown Honolulu. Unaware of any war, Wada queries the lighthouse keeper, who points northwest and discloses that Pearl Harbor Naval Base is under attack. The revelation hits Wada with the force of a sudden storm, reshaping the calm fishing outing into a stark reality of conflict. As the only Japanese-American naval intelligence agent in America, Wada's expertise lies in translation and analysis. His involvement in undercover work, surveillance of Japanese ships, and deciphering intercepted communications positions him at the forefront of critical wartime intelligence efforts. The news sets Wada into motion, back from the idyllic fishing spot to a Honolulu gripped by the chaos of war. Japan's surprise air raid on Pearl Harbor, unbeknownst to Wada until this moment, thrusts him into a pivotal role as he grapples with the implications of an unexpected and devastating attack on American soil. Chapter 1. In the vibrant streets of Honolulu, Kazumasa Wada pedals his bicycle with determination, hoping to reach his Japanese language class. The city's tropical vistas and ocean fishing spots are a familiar playground for him and his younger brother, Douglas. However, a tragic accident on Baratania Street shatters their world. J.W. Lamb, driving an oil truck, collides with Kazumasa, leading to fatal injuries. Strangers rush him to the hospital, but the 14-year-old does not survive the day. The Wada family, Hisakichi and Chiyo, are devastated. Unlike many Japanese immigrants working in sugar plantations, Hisakichi is a Miyadaiku carpenter, specializing in constructing and repairing Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples. The family, deeply affected by Kazumasa's death, sues and receives a $10,000 settlement, prompting a move to Kama Lane in Honolulu. They establish the Wada Camp, a Japanese enclave in the Kapalama district, opening a store catering to the local Japanese community. Douglas, now bereft of his constant companion, navigates life in an area marked by poverty but also rich in cultural ties. As Douglas grows, he becomes an active and social youth, engaging in activities like Cub Scouts and sports. His parents, grappling with the Americanization of their Nisei son, enroll him in Japanese language classes. Despite their efforts, Douglas becomes more enamored with American culture, particularly baseball. By 1928, Douglas's parents decide on a drastic measure to reconnect him with their Japanese heritage. His mother, Chiyo, presents him with 2 steamship tickets to Japan, claiming they are to witness Emperor Hirohito's coronation. Unbeknownst to Douglas, this trip is a strategic move by his parents to immerse him in Japanese culture. On the Shinyomaru, Douglas sails to Japan with a sense of pride and excitement. However, the truth unravels. He is intended to study abroad at a school run by the West Hinganji, not merely as a tourist. The revelation marks a significant turning point in his life. Kyoto, with its medieval charm and cultural richness, becomes Douglas's new world. The city, preserved in time, captivates him with its traditional architecture, religious practices, and artisanal crafts. Baseball, introduced to Japan by American missionaries, is also a prominent fixture, and Douglas's skills secure him a spot on Heian Middle School's baseball team. Douglas envisions staying in Japan to play baseball for Waseda University but faces a looming threat: conscription into the Japanese army. The invasion of Manchuria in 1931 raises the stakes, as the military obligation hangs over him. Despite renouncing his dual citizenship, Douglas fears being drafted and losing the life he has come to love in Japan. Baseball becomes Douglas's ticket out of the impending military service. When a team from the United States visits Kyoto, Douglas seizes the opportunity to join them, creating a vacancy on Heian Middle School's team. Although the escape is seamless, he is unable to retrieve essential travel documents, including his passport and citizenship certificate. In Yokohama, Douglas stays with his uncle, Iwaichi Wada, biding his time until he can secure passage back to Hawaii. The looming expansion of the Imperial Army and the fear of conscription drive his urgency to return home. The Wada family's journey encapsulates a narrative of loss, resilience, and cultural identity. From the tragedy that befalls Kazumasa to the strategic move to reconnect with heritage, the Wadas navigate a complex interplay of Japanese tradition and Americanization. Douglas's experiences in Japan underscore the tension between cultural preservation and assimilation. As Douglas ultimately escapes the potential military service through baseball, the narrative reflects broader historical themes of the era. The socio-political landscape in Japan, marked by Emperor Hirohito's ascension and the growing militarization, serves as a backdrop to Douglas's personal journey. The clash between tradition and modernity, exemplified by his love for baseball in a city frozen in time, highlights the complexities of identity formation for Nisei individuals. The Wada family's story is one of adaptation and negotiation, mirroring the broader immigrant experience. Their relocation to Kama Lane, the establishment of the Wada camp, and the efforts to balance cultural heritage with the allure of Americanization capture the multifaceted nature of the Japanese immigrant narrative in early 20th century Hawaii. In the end, Douglas Wada's return to Hawaii becomes not just a personal triumph but a symbolic representation of navigating the challenges posed by cultural identity, family expectations, and the geopolitical landscape of the time. The Wadas, like many immigrant families, find a delicate equilibrium between preserving their heritage and embracing the opportunities and influences of their adopted home.